And we're live, hopefully. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm using one of the webcam microphones. So when I did start out, I needed to buy I don't even know where it's gone now. I needed to buy a microphone because I didn't actually have these decent cameras that I've got. This one up here and that one up there. I didn't have them at the time of starting out, so it was kind of a bit of well, I needed to buy the camera so that no, I needed to buy the microphone because you couldn't hear me on the webcams I had. Now I have these new cameras. It would be I don't know, maybe the microphone's good and I don't need to worry about it. So if you are watching along, feel free to give me some feedback. All right. Let me just I'm just trying to sort a couple of bits and pieces out. There we go. Yeah, so yeah, I'm live again, hopefully. This hopefully will be the live day of the week that you'll be able to follow along. They're not going to be too long either. They're only going to be maybe, yeah, I don't know, a couple of hours a beat each. I mean, it's not even going to be 2 hours tonight by the time I've actually got live. I was hoping to be here at 6:15 until 8:15. Yeah, but yeah. So you can see here. Let me move this out of the way because it's ugly. Yeah, whirlwind. There we go. You can see that. That's what we're going to be doing tonight. But not that one, obviously. That one's already done. I've got another one over here, which I forgot to get out, so I need to get that one down as well, which is going to be a bit of messing around. But we'll get that one down. So yeah, before we start, a quick shout out to my patrons. As you can see, patron shout outs. You guys are super awesome. You help me with this endeavor. I want to get bigger and bigger. I want to be able to do more live streams for you guys. I want to be able to do more videos. My patrons have been seeing videos coming 3 times a week. They've been seeing some videos that I've got in the works, and some of them are available on YouTube to watch. But I won't be putting everything on YouTube. You know, my patrons help me out and they get to see things. So yeah, so my patron at the moment, Maurice, thank you very much for helping along. You are a 2nd tier contributor, so you get an actual shout out. Just $1 a month and your name will go down there, as well as, you know, my eternal thanks and everything. Basically what you do, what my patrons do is you help me fund, so like, you know, I use XSplit at the minute to record these live streams, but I can only do on one platform, you know, so I'm asking for the first goal is for patrons to come along and I'll be able to stream on here, on Twitch and direct to Facebook Live, which a lot of people, I was getting a lot more people kind of getting involved on Facebook Live. So again, that's kind of where we want to go first. And then it's also getting the better equipment. You see this bit of flickering going on here. It's to do with the lights and the cameras and so on, so we need to figure that one out and work that out and see what we can do. I've got this light right under my face right here. It's the only place it can go, but it's helping me light up this bench a bit better. But yeah, so that's what it's for. So you guys, you know, as patrons, you help me build this channel to what it is, and at the end of the day, you guys are the ones that actually want to watch this stuff. Well, I hope you do. So you're the guys that get to basically fund it and tell me what to do. If you don't like what I'm doing, then let me know. Alright, so we're going to get cracking on then. We're going to get cracking on with this whirlwind. We'll get that done. I'm here for a couple of hours, so I don't want to keep messing around gassing away. So we'll get that done. I'll get it down. I'll get the cameras flipped around and we will get cracking on, shall we? So there we go. Right, so you can see in here, you can see the chat that's going on here. You know, feel free to have a chat if you've got it set up in a different way. I mean, you can't actually talk in this box, but you'll be able to see what other people are writing without too much bother. So whatever it is, as you can see, the ticker tape, whoops, the ticker tape's going along here. You can see them. So me patrons go down there, and all me social media pages are there as well, and you can have a look. Yeah, so let's get cracking, shall we? And we'll pick up the Whirlwind box from up here. It's a little bit out of the way. Here it is, Whirlwind. In a strange box actually. I was expecting what's this? Now I have in a previous video, you can see I've actually started clipping off of that sprue. As I did try going live a few weeks ago to build this, and it didn't really work out. My kids are messing around and beating each other up and all sorts, so I did kind of stop doing it. So, but I'm back again doing it now, so we're going to get on with it, and I'll have a chat while I do. And if you've got any questions to ask me or anything like that, you know, feel free. That's what I'm here for. Let's move my light a bit. There we go. It's better. I can see what I'm doing now. There we go. Right. And actually, while I'm here, what I want to do very quickly is I just want to test the microphone. So I'm going to turn it off. A little bit, it seems to be working just fine, so you'll be able to hear me. It's quite boomy actually. It's much better than what I was using before, so I might not need to worry about that anymore. A big boomy voice comes through quite nicely, doesn't it? So this model is part of the big 2K build that you can follow along on my Facebook page. You'll see progress as it kind of progresses. I mean, it's been a bit slow at the minute because building isn't particularly interesting. I mean, at the end of the day, all you're doing is you're watching me scrape mold lines and glue bits of model together. So it can be a little bit boring. So I can understand, or I can see why, you know, I haven't really done a lot of whip posts because we've all seen grey plastic, and quite frankly, it's not very interesting, to be honest. So, you know, once I start getting paint, now up here I do have, actually, you can see here, I have started. We've got the Hunter here. It's got some paint on it. It's been dry brushed. It needs some details going on, so you know I'm going to start actually adding colour to that. Now when I start doing that, then obviously things will start getting a little bit more interesting, and you know, pictures will start showing up, and I'll start doing, you know, painting these things on live as well, and the various other models. And I mean, you can see how for argument's sake these things will get along. These are the Inceptors, which I can't stand those flight stands that they have, so you'll be able to see progress on those, and you'll be able to see some you'll be seeing some whip shots of those, and when I do things like the oh, what's the thing, the decals and things. So actually that's almost empty. Oh, that's the one I was looking for, that one. A brand new super glue for today. Yeah, and then pop that on that. Like so. Click. I'll click into place, and that will glue nicely. There we are. Lovely. And we just grab the instructions again. You see, one of the things is I love about the instructions rubbish. However, one thing I do keep forgetting is I'll look at this and I'll like, wait, which side of the model is this? And I'll look at that just to remember, yeah, it's the right side. I can never remember if they invert the instructions for the left and right, so that it's left and right as you look at it, or is it left and right as it's driving, or what? Although to be fair, when you use a bit of common sense, you realise that the tracks you need are actually on the side that you got this from the side of the sprue that you clipped them off from. So yeah, a little bit of common sense, well, that would help. So I don't need to move that camera, don't I, because it's a bit out of it. There we go, it's a bit better. You can kind of see what I'm doing now. Let's move the light out of the shot, if it will move out of the shot. There we go, it's a bit better. Here we are. A bit better. You kind of see it's a bit of a mess behind me, aren't you? My desk is a mess. Yeah, it can be. You can imagine. I mean, I've got 2,000 points to paint, to build and paint in time for July, so it is a little bit of all hands on deck around here. Well, I say all hands, both of my hands. It does get a little bit messy on my desk. One of the biggest problems I find actually is that I'm trying to build, paint, and photograph and all sorts, all in the same place. The large plans, I mean, when I did the reveal of my logo, I said to people that, yeah, it was a promise that I want to make to you guys, that everything I do is going to be aimed towards building the business up as best as I can, to be professional, to conduct what I do in the most professional manner that I can, and in doing that, what I want to do is I'm starting to do the plans and everything for it. Is I'm going to start looking at building a studio in my garden. Now I know that obviously, you know, not everybody has the ability to do that, and I'm not doing it in a way to try and, you know, I'm not trying to teach you how to paint. I just kind of try and show you the hobby and show you things that you might not necessarily have a chance to see, or so on and so forth. So, you know, having a studio that has, you know, dedicated building space, painting space, and various other things like that, in doing that is going to give me the ability to really kind of show you guys, you know, everything, and I can concentrate with my areas. Can be concentrated. I just dropped something on the floor. It's tweezers. I'll have the ability to kind of concentrate on, you know, showing you how to build something, and I can have cameras set up in a way that you really be able to see things as they're being built without things like this in the way, you know, because this is for painting, you know. I don't need that on the desk right now, but it kind of has to be because it's got nowhere else to live. And likewise with my glasses here, you know, and I've got a paintbrush knocking around as well. Yeah, this is in my, I'm currently in building mode, I'm not painting, so, you know, why do I need to have painting equipment knocking around? But the thing is, I have to have painting equipment knocking around because I've got nowhere else to put it. However, you know, I mean, I understand a lot of people have got the same issue, but, you know, that's not what I'm doing here, as I'm not trying to show you how to hobby. I mean, you know how to hobby. I'm just showing you how I'm hobbying and showing you things that you might not necessarily have a chance to see. You know, so again, I mean, that's what Patreon's all about, guys. That's what it's all for. I mean, I'm you know, turning into a studio that you would otherwise have to, you know, either experience for yourself, or, you know, you'd need to experiment. And I've been having a chat with Maurice, whose name is just going across the bottom there, who's already a patron. She was just, we were talking, I was talking to her, and we were talking about, yeah, what can I give patrons? And one of the things she said was that perhaps, you know, if I'm doing videos like this about, you know, showing you my commission work and showing you the ways that I do things and stuff on my live show, and also showing you the final product of the videos that I do because of my commission work. But as a patron, what you're going to be able to do is actually see not only the behind the scenes stuff, but you'll also get to see my hobby work, the things that I'm not doing because of business. And what that means is that you'll be able to watch, you know, you'll be able to watch me experiment and play around with materials and stuff, and then that, you know, you can really get into, you know, watching me understand and watching me learn painting techniques that I can't do when I'm commission work, when I'm commission painting. I can't learn anything, although I do learn some things. I mean, that's not what I mean. I can't practice new techniques on somebody's commission work, you know, because if it goes wrong, you know, it's not my models that I'm getting it wrong on. So as a patron, for, you know, and it's for as little as $1 a month, which in my money turns around to being about 60 something p, for you guys anyway. No, it's 98p. I'd for every $1 that you give me, I'd be something like 68 pence once I get all the deductions added to it. But yeah, it's around about, $1 is around about 90 something p. And that's essentially what I'll be doing, is I'll be building it up, so you'll be able to see, you know, the videos of the commission work that I do, and you'll be able to follow along, and you'll be able to see the videos of commission work that I do, all for free here on YouTube. I mean, I might put adverts on later. I mean, if I start getting a lot of subscribers, yes, I'm sorry, but it'll have to be done. But other than that, the video content itself will be free. But yeah, my hobby stuff and my experimenting and my playing around with new techniques and learning things will be done on my own personal models, but that will be patron only stuff that you'll only be able to see on the Patreon website. What am I doing here? Yeah, that's it. It is right, isn't it? Yeah, I'm guessing away. I can't remember what I'm doing now. There we go. Right. There we go. Right, yeah, that's fine. And there's also different techniques of building as well. Actually, when I'm painting my own model, I'd probably leave these tracks off, to be honest. and paint them separately and all that sort of stuff, because it's just easier to paint, or it's neater to paint them when they're not attached to the model. But when I'm commission painting, I haven't got time to be doing, you know, tracks in multiple pieces. I ain't got time to be messing around trying to fit them in after I've painted them and all that sort of stuff, which is why I'm gluing them in now as opposed to waiting until the model's done. It takes a little bit of it might take a bit of time to make sure I get the paint in there without getting all over the, well, what will ultimately be red by the time I finish spraying it. But it will give me, you know, I'll be able to, I'll still be able to paint with a reasonable quality, but it just means I haven't got to worry about sub assemblies and so on. And the silver's the first thing to get done on these tanks anyway. If I do make any mistakes, it's weathering, which is something I'm actually learning, interested in learning actually. So that might be one of the very first things that you start seeing on the Patreon page, is my experimentation into weathering. I do a little bit of it every now and then, but I keep it light because it's very easy to mess it up. And I'd rather just have, you know, clean vehicles that are a little bit unrealistic than just messy vehicles that just look rubbish. Okie dokie, right, so that's that. Oh, and then I do need to get this bit. So you can actually see what I'm doing even over here, actually, can't you? I mean, I'll bring it over closer to the camera in a minute, but I don't lose the bit. That's the door. Oh dear. One thing I did notice about this, I don't know if you can see it, it's a different colour in the door. I'm a bit worried about that. It's like the plastic didn't mix properly. I didn't realise that the plastic had a colour into it to make it grey. Well, maybe it doesn't, and maybe, you know, it's badly made plastic. I don't know. Oh no. Gluing the doors shut. Don't need the doors. I'm gluing them shut. There we go. Right. Right, okie dokie. So we're going on to moving on to the next side now. Clip them out rough. Roughly clean them up. clean them off with the knife as always. Don't want mold lines. I mean, there's a couple of models actually. If you look through the album on Facebook, you will find there are a couple of models that do have mold lines. It's unfortunate, but yeah, they do occasionally get missed. It's just one of those models. It's one of my models, and I just couldn't be bothered to go in and clean them up and then repaint him and all that sort of stuff. Well, it's not a massive repaint. I mean, you just have to cover up the leg, but it's one of those Primaris Marines, and those models, they've got mold lines in such the wrong places. It's ridiculous. Used to be a time where all the mold lines would just go right around the edge. You didn't have to worry about them really, because they were right around the edge. But for some reason, all of the Primaris mold lines go right through down like the shin of the model. It's just like right in the centre of the leg. Why couldn't you run it down the edge of the back plate? You know, the legs have got that thing at the back, in the corner. But I don't know. Right, if you just bear with me a second, I just need to bang some heads together. Right, I'm back. Right, so children out of bed when they should be in bed. Right, so I'm going to carry on with this. I've never really liked the mold lines on this thing either, or certainly the connection points. Putting a connection point on a round surface, it's never really helpful. Right. here it goes. Right, put that side together, just like that. We'll grab the other door. So, not going that, like so. In there. Squidge the glue. There we go. Right. And then as you can see, all of these Space Marine vehicles, they'll start with a Rhino sprue. Well, most of them do anyway. Obviously with the exception of things like Land Raiders and Flyers, but bit of glue squeezed out. Caught my finger. So we're just popping and glue on there, just along the tip of each of the wheels, and that gives us a really nice foundation. To work that onto. So obviously every single point of that has glue on it. And I did it with the other one as well. You saw me do that. I always start with the long one, even though it's marked as number 4. I always start with that long one, and then I'll work out 3, 2 and 1, and then 5, 6 and 7. It always helps me line these ones up. It's just much easier to do it that way. Because I know we're going towards the front, and then whatever's left over goes up into the back here, rather than me trying to come my way around, find out I either started too high or too low, and it doesn't work, it doesn't fit. So we start with this, start with this really long one at the bottom, then butt the next one up to it, butt the one after that up to it, and you know that that's in a reasonably positioned. especially when that's only like it's only one link long. It's really small. I reckon, I don't know. Right. So we're almost done with the tracks here, which is handy, and then we'll move on to building the rest of the Rhino chassis. Once that's done, move straight onto the Whirlwind weapon. So that's that. Two sides. Okay, so moving swiftly on. Let's not hang about. We have the back door that, much to some people's dismay, will be glued shut. I'm not going to be keeping that open. We have the front panel. And we have the weapon panel. Again, that will be glued on just for simple keeping it working, so that they're packed away and the bits aren't going to keep falling off. We have the roof, and that's an empty sprue. We have the floor. Essentially, I mean, anybody who's built a Rhino shell will know that essentially it's just a box with some tracks on it and a double skin wall. So this is fairly simple. We have the middle bulkhead and the visor. I'll leave the lights for now. I'll do them at the end when I do things like the smoke launchers and stuff. here we go. This is the next step basically. So what we're going to look at first is going to be doing the back door and the floor. Once I've done that, the whole thing will go together. Then I'll do the bulkhead, the front panel, and then the roof. So start with the back door. Like I said, this will be glued shut. I'm not going to have it flipping, folding and open and closing. Again, my models might be a bit different. Well, actually, probably no, not actually really. It's only the rhinos, actually. I'll probably have them folding open. Everything else I'll have closing, I reckon. So I mean, I know that a Razorback will carry troops, but only the rhino's designed for it. So no, it doesn't. And welcome to the show, Chris. I don't have to paint the inside. No, it's going to be a much quicker. It takes far too long trying to paint the inside of these things. I'm not going to get paint. I'm not paid enough to paint the inside. And 2,000 points in time for July is a little bit tough. But at the end of the show, I mean, I've put the I know there have been some pictures online, but I'll get them all down to see how we're doing. We are, where are we? We are in the where are we? We're in the middle of May, so I've got a month and a half to try and get it done in time. And I've already base coat and dry brushed most of it's half of it ish, so I think I'm on track. So here we go. Right, so what I'm going to do, we're going to glue that into there, glue that into there like that, and then hope it lines up for the other side. Such is life. Right, here we go. I always put glue on the top of those tabs. I don't know why. They don't actually touch anything on the other side. Oops. There we go. It goes in there. If I work quickly, I won't have to worry about it going off before I get a chance to put the other side in. If I work quickly, and then I'll be able to line it all up. Like that. Oh, something a bit like that. How messy was that? No, I think we got away with that. That's cool. And then, even though it's never going to be seen, this bit does add a little bit of stability. Ow. Did I just pinch my thumb? No. Adds a little bit of stability to the inside of the rhino. Like that. And along the sides. You don't have to be too clean with this one, because it literally is about to get buried under glued plastic. But this just helps you to line up. It spaces the holes at the front before you go and try and put the front on. Helps space them out, strengthens them up, straightens them up I should say, and you know, there is a little bit of stability in there, having a cross beam going across the centre of the hull, if you can get it pressed in far enough, otherwise it causes you some more problems. Right, there we go. Right, okay, so now I need to get the roof. Always a bit of flashing on the end of here, so just on the end. One thing I have noticed, because of this weird kind of different colours on there, there's two different colours, it's a bit white and then it's dark grey. This white plastic seems to be a bit softer, so it definitely didn't mix properly. And then moulding it, just feels softer under the knife. I'm not sure how to explain it really. It almost feels like the knife is like spreading the extra plastic away, as opposed to sort of scraping it when it goes across harder dark grey plastic. I don't think it will be a problem. It's not really. I mean, I don't even know if that would be even worth sending back or asking them about the fact that it's not up to scratch. I mean, it just feels a little bit different. Right, so let's have a look. This is where precision gluing comes in handy. Right, we've got to try and remember the inside of that on top of there. Try and remember where all your glue can go. Get this and scrape off all that extra glue around the edge here. I want to be able to get a nice right, here we go. While I'm concentrating, I've gone quiet. Oh, yeah. And along the top of this bit, along here, like that. Along there, and just along the inside here. Along there. There we go. Right. Almost done. That, and then on the inside here. So there we go. Right, okay, took a little longer than I wanted it to, but that should glue nice and firmly down, and all of that glue, and that will go nowhere. So we'll line all the angles up. There we are, lovely. Right, let's grab this bit. Got some glue on my finger, I think. Right, the inside here. Again, another one of those things, if you really wanted to, you could save yourself some money and either not glue this or magnetize it and all that sort of stuff. So you can swap weapons. I mean, you still could. I mean, that's now, you know, that would be ready. I mean, if I bring this one back, that is, you could pop that off. That is now ready to become a razorback. So actually, you know, even as a whirlwind, I'm still going to leave that one separated, just so that you can move that around when you're playing with it if you really wanted to. But yeah, you couldn't turn this into a rhino, whereas if you wanted to, you just don't glue that bit on. Now I just need to clear off all of the plasticky bits. Squeaky. Could have done this while it was before it was attached. That'd be alright. Because there's some nice solid edges to work to it. Right. Grab this bit, which is the front panel. Right. And then finally the visor, which doesn't get glued into place. Although to be fair, I have never really understood why it's not, because it is a nightmare to get in. I have to bend it into place without snapping it. Yeah, that was in. And kind of bend. There we go. Got it in. There we go. Lovely. One razorback, or rhino, or whatever you want to call it. Pretty much one shell there. So we'll move on to the weapons. And we're about an hour into the stream, so hopefully we'll get this done. Weapons can be a bit of a pain in the butt. I have done one of them already. And it wasn't really helpful. The instructions weren't very helpful in working out just how they're supposed to fit together, but with a bit of messing around I did do it. Now you got two weapons to choose from on the Whirlwinds. You got the Vengeance or the Castellan launchers. The Vengeance ones are the big ones, the Castellan ones are the small ones. I will be using the Vengeance ones because that's what the client wanted. And then this. Right, so yeah. Right. Okay, so this is, that goes on that way round, like something like that, yeah. Yeah. theoretically, not that one. Where is it? That one will slot onto there, like that. See what I mean? It's a bit of faffing around. It's not brilliant. But I'll glue that there. And then glue that bit there. And then glue that bit there. Right, and then okay, so that goes like that. And this here. Hold it onto there. Sorry, I'm mumbling. Oops, glue. I'm mumbling to myself. Trying to remember how these things go together. A wise man would use the instructions. But yeah, I've done one. Why can't I do any more? Right. And that goes on like that. Bit of a gap there, but I think I'll get away with it if I, oops, you know what you could do is fill it up with super glue, drag it across, that'll be fine. Right, do that. Okay, see, the other way of doing the weapon rather than doing the shell first is do these first and attach the shell to it. I don't know which is the best way of doing it. Both ways are bloody fiddly. Nightmare. But the other way of doing it would be to put glue there, as you would anyway. place there. Then a clever bit. Right. So that goes in there like that, but doesn't get glued. would you believe it or not, we're actually almost done. Right. Right, what am I looking for that? Right, and then that goes on there, like that. Oh, almost there. Oh, excuse me. Oh dear. It's been a long day. Right. So now we're just gonna add embellishments. Yeah, right. Smoke lodges. That. Oh, we are nearly done now. Get this closed up. Let's get all these holes closed up. Oops. So we are fast approaching the end of this stream. Actually, there's nothing I can do once I've built this. I'm going to show you the army, the 2K army as it stands once I've finished, but we are approaching the end. There's nothing I can do because everything that I've got left to build, I've got some Reavers left to build and some and a kit bashed lieutenant who actually is more of a repurposed Death Company Marine. But I'm making videos on those, so I can't use a live stream feed as the footage for that, so I can't build them on live, and this is the last model I've got left to build, apart from the 2 units I just said. So I don't really have anything to do other than carry on making those films. So we are approaching the end, and it is at 5 to 8 now, so we're about 20 minutes early, and I did start about 10 minutes late. So this model has been around about an hour and a half to build from start to finish. But there we go. Pop that on there. We need to wait for the glue to dry. I mean, I need to possibly re-glue that, or possibly just fill it with a bit of green stuff at the back here. Because that is a bit tight. But there we go. And a bit of shaving need doing, I think, around here to try and get that to fit in there where it's supposed to fit. But I think I'll do that off the camera so I can spend time and really get in there. So there we are, one whirlwind finished. I'm gonna bring that up there. You can't really see it very well, can you? Wait, there we go. So I came on live and I've actually done what I set out to do tonight. I have built a whirlwind. There we are. So any questions? Now's the time to get them in, because I am going to gather up the army so far, and that will be the end of it. So what have we got? Here we go. Two whirlwinds and a hunter. Librarian dreadnought. One, two, three, yeah, ahead of time. I'm quite surprised actually. I managed to actually set out what I plan to do, which doesn't usually happen. Running out of space on the board, look. Oh, yeah. Let's move that stuff out of the way. It's a very large desk company, although technically it's 2 squads. 4 boxes of space of desk company Marines went into making this army. There's 20 desk company Marines, but only 18 of them are actually going to be desk company Marines. I've built a new Captain Smash for this army, and like I just said a few minutes ago, a lieutenant will also be a repurposed desk company Marine. And all these Space Marines you see down here, they don't actually have the bolt gun in their hands. Otherwise, I'd never be able to build it. Or paint it, I should say. One chaplain. And one Captain Smash. So, shall I get the camera down? Let's have a look at what we've got here. Let's move this wire so that I don't bring everything down on top of it. Here we go. There we are. So that is a massive desk company. I'll tell you what I will do is I will turn the autofocus back on, just so that we can let's have a look here. There we go. So we have desk company Marines and lots and lots of them. Like I said, 18 desk company Marines. We've got a, you've seen me paint one before, but we have another desk company chaplain there. Everything that has colour on it, as you can see, has been painted, base coated, washed and dry brushed. That's the Librarian Dreadnought there. We have over here, we have a 10-man tactical squad. Sergeant is over here. Will it focus on him? I doubt it will. Behind them we have 5 intercessors from a 10-man intercessor squad. The other 5 of them are over here as well. Pretty much a troop tax. And then we have 6 inceptors here. And we don't like the flying stem. We don't like the flying stem, so we've changed it into a rock. Some of them are a bit short, as you can see. We look at the side here, some are higher than the others, just like the normal flying stems. So big rocks and so on. We move back to the Hunter, which is here. Look at that lovely beautiful thing, washed and dry brushed. I mean, I need to touch up the plastic here where it's rubbed off, or actually I took it off, to be honest. And then you can see back here we have the two whirlwinds, one of which has just been built and the other one was built the other day. And then finally the models that are already pre-built. Let's put him up out the way so you can see him nice and special. Is, well, with a bit of flickering, is the Captain Smash. A new one. I kind of like him a little bit better than I like mine. Obviously, again, he's only been base coated, washed and dry brushed, so there's still quite a bit of work to do on him, but you should see that happen over time. Over the next couple of weeks you should start seeing some progress. But there we go. When that comes into focus, almost 2,000 points of Blood Angels. Another, like I said, another 2 units to go, which is the Lieutenant and a Reaver squad. So let's just pop the camera back over here. Pop the camera back there. Get it out of the way, like so. They do look sexy indeed. Lots and lots of Blood Angels. We will be keeping an eye on the Facebook page. You will see them progress. There hasn't been a lot of updates on the Facebook page. Let me change the camera so that I can actually talk to you, because we are wrapping up now anyway. Let's change the camera up. There we go. Right, let's push that down out of the way. We don't need that. Oh no, because you can see it down there. There we go. Right, trying to get the angles right. It's not working very well. But anyway, yeah, there hasn't been a lot of updates on the Facebook page because you know, there isn't a lot to really see. I mean, it is nice to see things coming together, but to be honest with you, I haven't done anything special with them yet. I've primed them, I've base coated them, the black has been dry brushed, and the red has been recess washed and dry brushed. There's really not much, nothing special to them. Once the whirlwinds are to the same stage as this Hunter, this one, you will see more updates happening, because once the entire army is at this kind of dry brush stage, I'll then start going in with a paintbrush and actually picking out details and actually painting them up. So like I said, tomorrow is Friday, which is update day for my clients. Hopefully I'll have the Lieutenant, I'll probably build the Lieutenant tonight, and the Reavers will be built tomorrow. And then that's the whole 2,000 points built, and then spend a day just dry brush, washing and dry brushing and spraying and doing all that sort of stuff. So you should start seeing some more activity of things progressing on the Facebook page over the next week or so. You'll start seeing things done. Now let's just quickly going back to the Patreon thing. Having a little discussion with Reese, who is my second-tier patron at the moment. One of the things that she pointed out is that the patrons don't really get a lot of special treatment. So this is what's going to happen. Now, you haven't seen me do any of this stuff live because I've been filming them. I just need a quick drink. I've been filming them and trying to create some videos. Now, some of the videos that patrons have already had access to are on this YouTube page. You see those videos are in progress, so they're not actually finished videos, but I just thought it's been really quiet. I'll put some up so you can see where I'm at. So that's what I've been doing so far, but the patrons don't get to see any kind of special stuff. You know, what are they paying for? So this is what's going to happen in the future. Commission work that I do not need to film to make a video for will be done on the live shows. and any commission videos will become available on YouTube after patrons have had it for about a week. That's anything that I do with commissions. Now, in the future, I used to kind of want to show off my hobby time. However, my patrons are now going to be the ones who get to see hobby time. They'll be the ones that get to see me practicing things. They'll get to see me playing around and just seeing what does and doesn't work, and you see the mistakes and the failures and also the successes. Those sorts of videos will be done as patron only. The lowest patron, as soon as you hit the $1, which is the lowest patron amount, access to everything. So there's not going to be double tiers. The tiers are purely just about getting a shout out either as a typed name or as an actual, you know, an actual shout out in the future. Okay, as in a shout out in words, you know, like Reese does at the beginning of every video. So that's what I'm going to do. That's the patron stuff. This is the 2,000 point army that's very much underway. I do only have a month and a half to go before my deadline, which is not necessarily, it's not a strict deadline, but it's a self-imposed one that I do want to try and get there. So follow along on the Facebook page. Over the next week you'll start seeing things start to improve in terms of seeing more and more happen as it goes along. So thank you for watching. Chris, thank you for joining in with me tonight, and we shall see how these go along. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Alright, bye bye.